passion to put in work, homie always winning. The beginning to the ending, guarantee we steady swimming. So many wins that the wins got wins, and y'all got so many losses that the losses got losses. Of course, it's another boss in the track. I'm steady flowing and going, steady prove where it's at. Making moves across the map, but it's global. Guaranteed to be the total of the W's. Guaranteed don't mean the trouble.
I put in work. 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 I put in work.
North side, south side, east to west coast, New York to Cali, we keep it moving, spit it sadly. We got the wins, we got the chip, homie. Another championship, let's make it flip, homie. The years got years, the wins got wins. I'm saying, from the back to the beginning, this is the ending. That we gon' take it to the top. It's the epitome. Never did they get rid of me. Spit it, but yo,
I put in work. 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 So many ways that the ways got ways.
But I'm above it, gimme room to operate. I'm trying to wake my patience ready to top shelf to dominate. So you can't be in my way. I'm a blaze the trail for raw talent. Most claims supreme, but in person off average. Can't lace the track, but I can auto tune and I let go. Better Lord, ain't a moment I can pass, ain't a moment I can pass on. Yeah, giving my all until the will is gone, but it's a mission on. Yeah, giving my all until the will is gone, but it's a mission to make a difference in the arm, to make a difference in the arm. Prepare, let's move. Your armor, let's move. Steady on the field. Let's move. Ready your armor, let's move. Steady your target, let's move. Your target, let's move. Head of your karma, let's move. Set of your karma, let's move. Head of your karma, let's move. Set of your karma, let's move. I want the cake in the bag too. I want it all, but I wanna pay dues blue. Peace of mind will find the loving all the way. To marry the image of truth to a harder aim. Yeah, whatever comes ain't a goal to me. Leaping over the thoughts for roadblocks gets old to me. Curving with a cold shoulder, never murder peak. Look a murder peak. Look around the pendulum, the back swing at 3rd degree. Stop now and ruin history. Go around the pendulum, the back swing at 3rd degree. Stop now and ruin history. These days depend upon a math man with good genes. I got enough to go around, plans to carry out when the rest ain't found. This journey's a vision, a quest to go the distance. I'm dreaming of an opinion that influence the kindreds. The spirit of hard work is hitting. Guess who got a spot for the top rank sitting? Let's go. Mama gave me the rhythm, pops gave me the hot. We put our heads together in the effort to know the plot. Born with the strength of a unified black block, ready to rock beyond stop. Mama gave me the rhythm, pops gave me the hot. We put our heads together in the effort to know the plot. Born with the strength of a unified black block, ready to rock beyond stop. Been a long time coming, yeah. Ain't a moment I can pass on, yeah. Giving my all until the will is gone, but it's a mission to make a difference in the arm. Prepare, let's move. Ready your armor, let's move. Steady your target, let's move. Head of your karma, let's move. Set of your karma, let's move. Been a long time coming, yeah. Ain't a moment I can pass on, yeah. Giving my all until the will is gone, but it's a mission to make a difference in the arm. Prepare, let's move. Ready your armor, let's move. Steady your target, let's move. Head of your karma, let's move. on and let's move.
Happy Hump Day, Razorback Nation. Welcome once again back to Arkansas's finest sports podcast as we preview today the super regional matchup between the master, Dave Van Horn, and his old Padawan protege, Mr. Tony Vitello, and the Tennessee Volunteers, the defending national baseball champions of the NCAA. Everybody's saying that this promises to be one of the biggest games of the season so far in college baseball, if not quite in some time. There's a lot on stake this weekend. Not only do we have the defending national champions, we have in our Arkansas Razorbacks what many people consider to be the odds-on favorite to get the monkey off the back and break the curse in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and make Fayetteville, Arkansas once again the campus of champions. But it's all on the shoulders of the venerable one, Mr. David Van Horn. Can he do it? Can the Razorbacks rise to the occasion, defend home field, and move on to Dave Van Horn's 10th College World Series appearance, and hopefully his first national championship? Now, I got my man, my Razorbackers protege, fellow contributor over there on the Razorbackers fan-sided website, Mr. Jackson McAfee, backstage. He's going to break down this matchup between Arkansas and Tennessee this weekend. We're also going to take a look back at this past weekend's regional, where the Razorbacks took care of business in workmanlike fashion, dispatching of the North Dakota State Bison and the Big East champion Creighton Blue Jays in very efficient fashion by dominating on both sides of the plate, hitting and pitching and defense as the Razorbacks dominated to move on to the Super Regionals. But as we'll talk about, it wasn't such an easy journey for a lot of teams in the SEC. 13 of the SEC's 16 teams made it to the field of the NCAA baseball tournament. But going into the Super Regional round, only a quarter of those are still standing. Arkansas, Tennessee, Auburn, and yes, the LSU Tigers still remain. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Hopefully we can get my man Connor Diamond on today to talk with us on some baseball. I did get some really good news today for everybody out there. My man SEC Mo put up a post today saying he will be back, I think on June 9th, which I think will be Monday. And we're going to have my man SEC Mo back in action. I think he's going to take back up with football. And but in the meantime, we're going to get into the baseball today and hopefully continue on this run to the College World Series. And I'm sure Mo will be getting into some of that too as he gets back into action and gets back into the swing of things. I really miss my man Mo. It's always a pleasure to go on the Hog Wild podcast as well as the Woo Pig podcast last night, who talked about predicting Arkansas's football schedule for this upcoming season just last night. But here today on Arkansas's finest sports podcast, we are focusing on baseball. Now, I do have a few nuggets. So if my man Mello is around or any other the regular crew, I know my man Pooh Bear the Plug said that he had a football item he wanted to get into. So if Pooh Bear is there, We definitely can get into some football and some basketball. But first, we are going to talk some baseball. And here, with no further delay, is today's monologue. Now, phase one of the mission accepted to start the 2025 baseball campaign by the captain, David Van Horn's plucky crew, is accomplished. Not to be easily forgotten, with 3 more legs to go, it's worth remembering that some in Razorback Nation and across the country were wringing their hands going into the 2025 NCAA baseball tournament. On the second leg, as Paul Maudib, my hero from the Dune Chronicles, one of my favorite books, once said on his ascension to the Lion's throne, once more the drama begins. Awaiting what many are beginning to recognize as the most capable squad is the real trial by fire, beginning Saturday at 4 p.m. in Baum Walker Stadium, when the former Van Horn assistant, Tony, the Dark Lord Vitello, brings the reigning national champion Tennessee Volunteers back into Fayetteville and the Hill, while a majority of fellow national
hit by pitches. I mean, how did we get most of those multiple home runs on the board? Well, we had a guy get on base with a single or got hit by a pitch or walk. So, I mean, as long as it's not like a bunch of solo shots, I guess you could say, just like one run at a time. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's okay unless any run is a good run, but just getting guys on base and just driving them in. I mean, in those cases, home runs are good when it's like a 2-run shot or 3-run shot or something like that. And maybe hasn't happened a lot this year, but a grand slam.
Now, you said that Tennessee doesn't give up a lot of home runs. Now, I was under the impression that other than, Doyle, their pitching staff wasn't anything to be too feared. I know when it comes to fielding, they have the worst fielding defense in the SEC. So I'm kind of concerned that, okay, with a team like Tennessee, although we beat them once with the gorilla ball style, and it's kind of one of those things where does Vitello think he can beat Van Horn playing Van Horn style of ball? But if you got the worst fielding defense in the conference, I'm thinking, well, and again, the team has to be themselves. They don't, at this point, you're not going to try to be something different. But I don't know. I'm just wondering, if you got a team that struggles to field the ball, maybe, putting ball in play rather than swinging for the fences might come in handy at some point.
Mm-hmm. And again, that puts runners on base, I mean, yeah, it doesn't go down as a base hit. It lowers your average and on-base percentage, but you're getting on base, you're helping the team win, you're scoring runs and everything like that. And when you were talking about Liam Doyle, I mean, we in that game too, he had like a blister or something on his finger, so he wasn't starting the first game. So that he started the second game of that series, and I mean, Arkansas just jumped right all over him. Like he came in with like a sub, I think it was like less than 1.6 ERA. He gives up 8 runs, 6 earned in like 4 2/3. So this is a guy that, I mean, he's definitely seen us, and maybe will adapt to what he experienced 2 weeks ago. But this is a guy I feel like that this team has more confidence against. I mean, yes, SEC Pitcher of the Year. Yes, he was great all season, but when he faced the Hogs in game 2 of the final series of the season, I mean, they lit him up, So I think this is a confidence booster for them, like knowing, hey, we can hit against this guy, whether that be errors or not. I mean, like I said, there 8 runs, 6 earned, so they scored 2 runs thanks to an error or 2 by Tennessee. So there you go. There's 2 free runs right there. So it's definitely something to look out for. Seeing how Arkansas can just capitalize on mistakes.
Yeah. Now, how much of a factor do you think it'll be that Doyle had to come back and pitch? I think he pitched at least a couple of innings in order to secure the series against Wake Forest. And he pitched, I think over 100 pitches earlier in that regional. Then he had to come back on Monday, pitch again. Now everybody seems to be thinking that Vitello's going to play him on Sunday instead of Saturday, basically give him that extra day's rest. How much do you think that may play a factor in in this series?
Yeah, I think I mean, it was kind of a similar situation of the last meeting where he was pulled from the first game, the starting game, this is series opener rather, and then he gets put in the second game. I mean, he definitely was working a lot this weekend. He had just played like what was it, 6 or 7 innings against six and 2/3 against Miami, and then he had to close out the Wake Forest game, which honestly they probably didn't really need him for that. But I mean, you never know when in those game seven winner moves on sort of deal. So they kind of needed him in that role in that scenario.
Oh,
But
they needed him. I was watching that game. They needed him because
yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, it is one of those things where it feels like when I was watching that game too, I thought like, okay, Arkansas has a great chance. Whoever wins this game, whoever wins this, they have to travel to Arkansas. Hopefully, that means these two teams drain each other, whether that be both their pitching staff, mostly their pitching staff, and their offense. And I mean, they definitely burned up the bullpen, but Tennessee is lucky though because I was under the impression that Arkansas would start the Super Regionals on Friday. Uh, four Super Regionals do start on Friday. However, Arkansas and the other three start on Saturday, and if necessary, goes throughout their Monday. So he does get that extra day of rest. He gets probably like 6 days after pitching like two games in 4 days. So that could work to his advantage a little bit. I still think though he's probably a little gassed. It's still not as much rest as you think he would get. But hey, I mean, sometimes pitchers are Iron Men and they can go forever. So, but yeah, I mean, in that first game, it was like 104 pitches. In the second game against Wake Forest, it was 31. So it wasn't like he had to go out and throw 70 in the second appearance. So he's he's got some leeway on him.
Yeah. When you look at the hitting matchup, and I know Tennessee's offense is probably one of the few in the country that is on par with Arkansas's. I know Arkansas's is not one of the best, if not the best, but I think in certain categories, Tennessee's is actually a little bit better. So if it comes down to an offensive battle, you think the Hogs can get them?
Well, I mean, I do look at the lineup and I do see how like there's guys like three guys are batting 343 or better. That's Andrew Fisher, Hunter Ensley, and then Gavin Killen.
Mhm.
And those guys have 10 plus home runs, and Andrew Fisher has 24 home runs, and that's four more than Behava, the team leader.
Mhm.
And so the SEC Player of the Year and possible um, Golden Spikes award winner. He's a finalist, but it it does concern me in that case. But I mean, I hate to kind of go back to the other series, but Arkansas was able to the pitching staff was able to contain the offense, and Arkansas's offense was still being consistent. I mean, 7 runs, 8 runs, and 8 runs in from game one, two, and three. I mean, I do. If I were to pick an offense, I would pick Arkansas's. I mean, if you look at if you look at the Razorback batting lineup, if you look at the numbers, you're seeing that they also we have four guys who are batting 343 or better. We have 7 of 9 who are hitting a little over 300. And, Justin Thomas and Brent Iredale, they're really close to 300. They're like a few points shy of 300. And Justin Thomas is the 9-hole hitter hitting 290.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right.
So, but I mean, I would say I would yes, Tennessee has power. They have power numbers. They have home runs, but Arkansas they have timely hitting. It feels like they have more of that this year. They draw more walks. They get hit by pitches more. It's it's just something that you just can't really like depend on like we talked about the home run ball, just expected like because that's just going to be solo home run, solo home run, solo home run. But you're going to depend a lot on guys getting on base and driving in runs and stuff like that, and just getting ahead early like that. So yeah, if I were to choose on offense, it would definitely be Arkansas's, with how much of a balance you have in that.
Yeah. Now, you weren't on the last couple of times, and I kind of was thinking about this, and this is something that I wanted to ask you because when I think about this whole gorilla ball philosophy, it seems to be, from what I can see, because I saw where Arkansas, not only hits well, but they have one of the highest on base percentage in terms of they also draw a lot of walks. So the approach and the philosophy seems to be, you know, um, wait for the pitcher to make a mistake. Make them throw strikes. If they you know if they walk you, cool. Like you said, you get on base for free. And then if he continues to make a mistake, either out of the zone or in the zone, you can hit a home run and clean up. I kind of likened it to you know the the hero ball in basketball, where you either drive to the goal, get a layup, or kick out to the three, and for the extra point. And and so that seems to be approach. And again, Tennessee does it as well, and and obviously they do it well because Vitello's taken that philosophy to Tennessee. He's thrived. He's been to the College World Series 3 out of 4 last times. He's won one already. So if it works, why? I mean, of course you're going to keep using it, but when Arkansas has lost, the thing that stands out to me is they get caught too many times staring at a strike three. So I'm wondering, like, is that because they're being taught, like, okay, if it's close on the margins, make the umpire call the strike or the ball. What they're really looking for is serving you up what you're looking for, or something right down the middle that you can hit out of the park. But when a pitcher is good enough to paint them corners and can, that's where they struggle. Now, does Tennessee have that pitching staff? Obviously, a lot of people think Doyle does, but it didn't do him much help that first meeting. Now, whether the rest of their pitching staff can do that, that remains to be seen. And so if it gets into a slugging contest, like you said, I mean, Arkansas is hitting almost 300, 1 through 9, and so you got to like their chances. So, me myself, I'm thinking Arkansas's got a good chance of getting out of here. But what are your thoughts, man? Do you think the Razorbacks are going to be favored to win this?
I mean, I would put them as the favorite. It feels definitely like an even matchup. I mean, I think this is the series to watch for. Out of all 8 super regionals, this is the series to watch. I mean, you see that you see the stars, you see the talent, you see how everyone is just playing their best baseball. It feels, um, and with having been on hot streaks and stuff like that. But it's definitely I could really honestly depend or decide rather the national champion. I mean, yeah, Arkansas could waltz in there and go to Omaha and win the championship. But I mean, depending on how you look at them and LSU, but who has West Virginia here the next week as well. And then you look at Tennessee. I mean, both teams like I don't think Tennessee is as strong as they were last year. I mean, they've lost some guys to the draft, but they've brought in some great players. I mean, Liam Doyle's still having a great year, and Andrew Fisher and Hunter Ensley and Gavin Killen. I mean, they're just they're just hitting the cover of the ball. They have like I think it's like eight of their nine starters are hitting double digit home runs. Nine of them, I think nine total has double digit home runs. Meanwhile, Arkansas has like I think like eight or something like that. Thomas is close. He's at nine at the moment, but yeah, these guys they hit the ball hard, and I think this is a definitely just a series that'll show a lot. It could either be I think it'll probably be more offense. It could show the both how someone could be dominant on the mound, but it could also show how hard these offenses are gonna be for any pitching staff to face. But yeah, this could show the national champion. And I did look up last week like who was favored to win the national championship. I saw it was Vegas picks Arkansas. If you bet $20, you would win $115, a $95 payout. So I mean, we have the talent to do it. We have the arms. We have the bats. But like you said earlier, I mean, you get to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. And I mean, these are the reigning national champions. They're not the same team top to bottom from last season, but this is this is still like a giant matchup. I mean, even I'm thinking like, man, it does make me nervous to watch this. It does make me kind of make me want to go like, all right, hurry up, let's get Saturday rolling around here. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, it's there's also a lot of factors too. Like for example, their starting catcher Cannon